It is just preparing to live stream. Still loading. Looks like the live stream is going, and let me do my share screen. Okie dokie. There we go. Oops, call to order.
All right, 6:07, call to order.
Motion to approve.
Anybody? Just say motion.
Motion.
Thank you.
Second.
Awesome.
Shelly, I was looking at you.
It was your turn.
We just had a conversation about this.
All right, all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Wonderful, you've approved the minutes.
Okie dokie. So I'm going to hop in. So last month we were going to do a we were going to do a presentation about the hidden risks and
Difficult
conversations. And I'm just pulling up the presentation so you guys can see a bit of it. The full presentation itself is fairly lengthy, but I wanted to have a chance to share it with the committee to see your thoughts on bringing this to the community as a community presentation, like an educational material. There's a
directed to parents.
Right, directed for parents. So this is kind of a full presentation that was compiled by Kristen over at Steps, who we had done the Kratom training together. So she had shared this with us. There's some updates that she put in here. This particular version was kind of geared towards students, which is why it says sus or safe. But I am going to just kind of go through. So it gives some examples of items where they are kind of like meant to disguise or hide items. So all of these that are on the screen here kind of look like your everyday materials like sunscreen or tampons, but they are in fact like false bottles.
Come on.
Where they are hidden compartments in them. The tampons themselves are like test tubes kind of looking things with like screw on caps. So you can like hide paraphernalia in there. The pen, for example, like this is technically a vape.
How would you know that though? I mean, do you just have
Right.
to check everything?
So the logo doesn't say Sharpie. It actually says like Smile, which is the brand. But on quick look, like you wouldn't know.
Correct.
This also is
Smile.
a vape, not a car fob. And so
Wow.
I think, you know, something like this is one that they found, but like, this is what I think we kind of think of when we think of a vape, but
Oh, yeah.
there are certainly ways to access it. So I
Yeah,
think when
that's
we
a-
talk about these like hidden risks, that's kind of what we're talking about. In a bigger version.
What was the candy cluster?
So those are actually THC like edibles.
Oh.
But they look like the Nerd
They do
Clusters
look
candies.
Mhm.
Yeah. And so the conversation would be kind of around a little bit of basic information, you know, what is a vape and different types of vapes, going into nicotine. And this is one of my favorite examples of like a visual. So when we talk about the amount of nicotine in a vape cartridge, you know, a package of cigarettes has about 20 cigarettes in it. If you look at an Elf bar vape, which is all the way to the right, the amount of nicotine contained in that one unit is about the same nicotine as 590 cigarettes.
Does that mean
And
you
how-
take 590 puffs of it compared to?
No, that's nicotine percent, like,
So
Inside
the
of that
volume of
one
nicotine.
But how long would it take you to
That
use the
one
one
vape
vape?
is.
It depends on how frequently
How
somebody's
you use
using it.
But
Which is why the vapes are so
but you
addictive
could use
because,
it in a day or two.
oh, absolutely.
And they're stronger.
And you don't,
Absolutely.
you don't realize how much you're doing.
Even like, for something like a jewel pod, they're, you know, these sizes they're not equal to each other. So a jewel pod is rather small. Somebody could easily go through that in a day, like 1 or 2 pods. So that's talking like 40
A
to
pack,
80
a
cigarettes worth of nicotine. I don't know too many people who could smoke
pack.
4
2
packs,
packs a
you
day.
know, 4 packs a day. But I do know
Wow.
plenty of people who could go through, you know,
Jewel pod.
2
Two
jewel
of those.
pods.
Yep.
And the kids, this is really popular, the
Mhm.
vaping with the kids.
The far
elf
right,
bars.
so Juul, there was a lot of legislation brought against them, so they're limited in what flavors they can put out. But the Elf bar, or one's called Eris, which kind of looks like a cylinder, there's no regulations around it. So this one that has like the little watermelons on it, they're fruity flavors. It's heated up, it's considered to be a, you know, they say vape, but it's actually oil that's heated by a coil that is creating an aerosol. So the same way that like your hairspray that comes out of an aerosol bottle is a vapor, it's not, it's little bits of liquid. That's the same way that the nicotine is carried in vapes.
Wow.
They don't have to list, you know, ingredients or anything like that. So we have information here on the vapes part of it. These are kind of like the blue slides.
the
Then
smart
we
vapes.
go into cannabis and what that looks like. So you've got like the oil. So these are kind of like they're called carts or cartridges. You've got edibles, and then you've got the flower part of it. A big thing that we run into with obviously cannabis is the packaging. So these are all packages for THC containing edibles.
Like you go to the dispensary and that's what they're selling?
Not really. in
And not
Connecticut,
even
but
just
yeah.
at the
Right, or not the
dispensary,
dispensary, you could get it, you know, kids could get this through Snapchat, they could get
Yep.
this through
Exactly.
online
Yeah, it's
retailers.
More so.
But definitely
black
this is
market.
geared towards kids, not adults,
Yeah,
like a lot
I
of
mean-
adult packaging is like, it's very clearly labeled,
Right,
it's
right,
not,
that's what I was wondering.
you know, that advertising piece of it. And then we also have information here about like, you know, alcohol, right? So this, you know, which one is the real one? Or the non-alcoholic one?
The one to the right, non-alcoholic.
Yep. Yeah. And so, you know, adding alcohol.
But
to
truly,
different-
if you don't look quick, because I had my 10-year-old grandson at the Cape with me one-on-one, and I bought him, and I looked before I gave it to him, but I bought it before I looked. And, you
Right.
know, he was 10. I could have like,
Cause the
Yeah.
CBD ones are just right in the grocery store. They're not even in like the liquor, like
Mhm.
even at Stu's.
yeah,
It's like right when you
Mixed
walk
in
in,
with the
it's
energy
not
drinks.
over in the
Is
liquor
it?
store stuff. The
Right,
CBD
exactly.
So
ones-
anybody can buy that?
So the CBD ones, and I'm calling it that, but technically they have THC in them,
Right.
but it's
Mhm.
just such a lower
see,
dose
yep.
that
So-
technically it's only CBD, so you
Right.
don't have to
Gotcha.
buy it at the dispensary, you could buy it at Stu Leonard's.
Yeah, they do have 5 milligram ones too, 'cause
And-
of THC,
Yeah,
but they do sell in the store.
Yeah, because it's under a
but
certain
then there's
amount.
like
Under
20
certain
milligrams of CBD, so then it's
Right.
legal.
And we have, so some of this part of the presentation, kind of getting into the red parts or the red slides, has to do a little bit more with like the kratom and some of the other substances that we talked about during that presentation. These again it's a kratom product that looks like gummy nerds. These little ice cream cone looking things are kratom. A serving size is like half of a cone. So like I mean, the way this is packaged, and these are small, right? We're talking like, they kind of look like the
like,
mini.
you know, you're gonna have a half of a
Yeah.
cone.
Mhm.
You're gonna have a
Exactly.
package
I
of
mean,
cones.
we were at the gas station.
So this was
so
at one of the locations in Southington where they had them out just on the shelf. So again, because Steps is in Southington. But feel free, this is right here, even at the Citgo.
Mhm.
And that
Um,
sounds
in
like
the
new
center.
You know,
age, healthy,
They have
right?
pictures of this, like
Yeah,
feel
you
free.
don't,
plant-based
that is.
tonic is what
And
it's
these are legal
described
to
as.
sell
Mhm,
to anyone.
because
It
they're
looks like an all natural,
Right.
like 5-hour energy kind of a thing.
exactly.
You have to be 21 to buy cigarettes now, right?
Mhm.
The
Yeah.
kratom you
Okay.
have to be
Mhm.
too, but it.
Yeah,
Doesn't
and they
matter.
just had the
Yeah.
legislation that kind of passed.
Is
The other
IDs.
thing now that we're seeing are these inhalants, which are,
Helium?
kind of, well,
No.
no, it's more like they're called like whippets.
Oh, what?
Oh,
the fuck
So
is that?
it's like used to kind of.
I was gonna say,
flavor-
we
I was
Whippets
gonna
are
say,
fun.
this is,
Cause they're used to kind of flavor like cream, right? So like.
No, it's flavored
cold foam
whippets.
or whatever, like
Yeah.
you can flavor it,
Balloon.
but it's
Rackham.
like, flavored
so
nitrous.
It's like a 30-second,
Mhm.
Wait long
whatever, and
enough
then
to
next thing you
get
know, they do it
Um,
again.
We have a
Like
little
a
bit of
concept.
information here about mushrooms and xylazine, and then we cover a little bit of social media. So again, these products being ones that can conceal, so the lint roller, the handle comes off and it's actually like a container, same thing with the axe, the cover screws off and it's empty. You can see here the water bottle bottom, it's got like a false bottom, so you could put water in like the top of it, but the bottom
Wow.
unscrews. Same thing with like the markers here, the tampons and that.
Start
And
checking
these are
people.
available on Amazon,
Mhm.
right? So if your kiddo can get to Amazon, your kiddo can get to these things, and not just kids, but maybe it's meant to be the thing that hides your money at the beach.
That's what
But
they
this-
sell them
right,
as.
right,
Yeah.
Mhm. So, and then this part of the presentation kind of goes into, so now what? I found something that concerns me. Can we talk about it? How do we talk to parents to talk to kids?
that's a really
So that's kind of part of
informative,
this.
I mean, my kids just got out of high school and I don't know what half of that shit is.
Mhm.
Seriously.
They'll probably teach you.
So, thoughts on if this is something we would want to bring to the community?
I think so.
I think
Yeah,
that's
of
huge,
course.
I mean, hugely important for parents to be aware. I mean, maybe I'm just dumb. I'm not, I mean,
I
I'm
think
thinking
it's-
of
Oh, I
like
don't
the
think
old,
you're alone.
I'm thinking of the
No.
old school things.
Yeah.
I mean, it used to be like a Coke can and
Right.
like, I didn't know so much.
And
You
you
know?
have access to, so the National Guard, part of their like prevention efforts, they have like, what they call the stealth trailer. So, we got to actually see it at one of our events we did, was it last week? that we
Last
had
week,
it?
it feels like weeks
Yeah.
ago, but it was last
So
week.
last week we had like a community, like, a community event about like the opioids and talking with the police and our partners, at like Intercommunity and AMR. And so we had the stealth trailer come, and it's set up as a mock bedroom with a bathroom with all of these things. There's 35 hidden
No way.
opportunities or hidden compartments that folks can kind of tour through. And it is 18 plus, so it's not for students to go into, parents
It's for-
and
It's
adults.
not for folks to learn.
Right,
to hide it.
exactly.
Right, is that something that could come?
Yeah, so,
for it?
so I asked them about like how
Nice.
much leeway they need, and they said a few weeks.
Yeah, and Sarah was like, when she
Mhm.
left, she's all about getting the word out there, so
That's
I'm
a
sure.
great,
Yeah.
I mean, parents need to see that of
Mhm.
young and older, you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Cause this is happening in middle school and I would like to think not elementary, but it
Mhm.
could be.
Well, especially the ones that look like candy and.
Yeah. Yeah.
Tim, what are you seeing a lot of at the high school level? Like, is there something maybe that we should focus more on or less on, or like maybe that's something you and Kayla could kind of go through and tweak it so it's really geared to what
I'm not
we're actually
seeing
seeing?
a lot of the sophistication of some of the devices.
And the sophistication is not. what
Well, like
I'm seeing,
in our
but
eyes, like
yeah.
it is clever.
Mhm.
They're you're using things,
Mhm.
but if we all know the weight of a phone,
Mhm.
and when a phone doesn't feel right, and you fiddle with it a little bit, you'll find that it opens up, and there's compartments inside. I've seen these things feel like a phone, but it's actually a digital scale for drug sale. All different kinds of stuff out there. If you feel something like a Pringles can,
Mhm.
right? So you feel a Pringles can, you're like, this is heavier than it should be.
Mhm.
And you look in, you take time, and you see that the Pringles aren't way down there, you'll see there's a difference. And a lot of times kids don't wash their hands. So you'll see like a ring of like use.
That makes
I
sense.
never
around,
even
like,
thought
the
of that.
base. So like a
That's-
pen, you'll see like a lot of wear. And then one side's like.
So
clean.
maybe
So
we
you
could,
just have to kind of like,
would you be willing to tag team with Kayla and add some of that, like, very actual info?
yeah, it's just taking a second to be like.
Yeah.
You know,
So-
Because I
consider the
think we wanna-
possibility of it and like look at
Right.
it, but it's getting the possibility in your mind. To say, you know, what if,
Instead of thinking, not my kid, not here, not
right, like,
happening.
why are they so protective of that
Yeah,
new water bottle?
Right.
Or
I've
something
seen,
like that, there's behaviors that you look at and you say. You know, cause we know how we act, we know what our
Mhm.
pens look like, and when you see a pen, it's like,
I am a little nerdy
doesn't
with
look
big
right,
pens, though.
or, you know, just like little things, you can kind of. You can kind of tell, but we're seeing a lot of the far right category.
Which is the worst.
And what about the vapes? Like, they have to be 21 to purchase, correct?
Well, they have contacts. Like I knew someone, I don't live with her anymore, but I knew someone and she had contacts. Like they have people who are that old and they like buy it.
So it's
they
not
buy
like
it
that
from
the gas
them.
stations
An
are
older
selling it
thing.
Yeah,
to
so it's not
young
the gas
kids.
stations, it's they
Just getting
have
somebody to get it. Yeah, gotcha.
contacts who are old enough and they buy it from them and then they just hide it.
Yeah, let me go.
And a lot of parents are either oblivious or they don't want to accept the fact.
Yeah, no,
Like they
can't.
know something's off, but they don't want to accept the fact that their kids might be doing that. Like they're in denial.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
I've seen a
Or
lot of
parents saying,
denial.
Mm.
So much
We
denial.
don't get that stuff back. Like,
Well, I have a
And who's
question.
saying that? The parent is?
Are we more likely to get folks if we're saying, hey, parents coming out, or if we're saying like, hey, grown-ups with kids in your lives, come on out? Because I'm more likely to, just if I were thinking, like, I don't have kids, obviously, but like, maybe I do feel like it's not my kid, but my kid's friends.
Mhm.
Or the kid on my, the kid on my kid's lacrosse team. Like, maybe I wanna know what to keep an eye out with their friends, like what friends.
For
they
the parents that
right?
say it's not my kid, because
Right.
then maybe they'll notice when it's their
Do I
kid.
have
You're
a
saying,
niece or
yeah.
a nephew? Like, how do we get those
Mhm.
people out? Because like it feels less. I feel like we're still running into some of the stigma around like, if I go to this presentation, it means there's
outing
something
my
wrong
kid.
with me and my kid. Versus I'm a concerned community member who wants to make sure that like,
Yeah, like
I know what
maybe
to
even-
look
Be
for
aware
and
for
I'm
my
keeping
friends or,
myself,
that
yeah,
kind of thing.
exactly, like a
Mhm.
QPR, right? Like we talk about like, this is how do you help your friends? How do
Check
you
your-
help the
yeah.
people in
Mm.
your community? So how do we kind of pitch it as that?
Even
like-
like including like scout leaders and sports
Mhm.
coaches and,
Yeah,
you know,
cause,
Yeah.
yeah.
and you're right. I think that will take away some of the intimidation of actually stepping forward and coming to something like that.
Jules has her hand up. Yeah, Jules.
Yeah, just a quick question about the presentation. Is there like a prevalence information at the beginning? And I'm thinking specifically about maybe information from the school survey in Connecticut.
So we had talked about the school survey in Connecticut before. Unfortunately, we don't have like a voices count survey where the data is broken down by Newington specifically with this
Right.
information.
We
Um,
could do a
So
statewide
we could
report.
give statewide information, we could give like Hartford County. But I haven't been able to find specifically Newington, and I did reach out to Amplify to see if they had specifically Newington, and they also were only able to get it out like the regional or the state level.
Do you have stats on anything referrals within the school setting?
referrals for, I mean, I can get them, sure. Yeah, for like
Vaping,
Yeah.
vaping or like THC
both.
possession.
Oh, I mean, obviously the THC is the step up that,
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
yeah, I can get those.
Does the
Okay.
school crack down on that, or
got
is there
that
so
on
much
paper,
of it,
right,
do
Brett?
they look the other way? I mean,
It
what is,
comes in,
what do
it
you
comes in
say?
waves. It's hard for us to be,
Cause I'm sure it's everywhere.
it's hard for us to be everywhere.
Right.
And, you know, we're very, like, me and the security guys, all lunch waves were in the caf. So that leaves a lot of the rest of the whole sort of building, you know, and then there's student escorts that need to be, you know,
Yeah.
the bathroom and the, you know, and they can't break free from that unless it's something, you know, major, but usually like a bathroom monitor will say, I know what that is.
Yeah. Is it just different now too, because it's vaping and it's harder for
It
you to be,
dissipates quickly.
yeah, so
Yeah,
it's not.
this-
You're right,
Like
now
you're
nobody knows,
smoking,
right? Yeah.
like back in the
Yeah.
day, it's like,
They
oh,
do back in
clearly
the-
they were
yeah.
smoking.
Yeah.
Doing this,
In the
Yeah,
back of the
they're
class.
just in their
Yeah.
shirt or whatever.
I know
I
my
bet they're-
cousin,
it's
when
happening
he
all
was
the time.
vaping, like, he could exhale without creating any like vapor actually coming
you hand
out.
them for a little bit, yeah.
So you could potentially, there'd be like no signs of it.
So it's
Yeah,
really
you
more
just
about
have this like
educating
fruity
them.
smell,
Right, you know.
you smell like
Smell it.
blueberries, you know, and then,
You must see a lot.
And someone stops by Shannon's office and picks one of her
I don't
30
see
hand
it, but I smell it.
sanitizers
You can
and
smell it.
that's what it
Smell
is.
the
In the bathroom.
Sometimes you can smell it, but
Mhm.
Like the
You
fruity,
can't
it's,
see
you're like,
it.
oh, this isn't.
I think
bathroom
some of
doesn't
them
smell like
are
blueberry,
like,
lemonade.
they're so small
bathroom
too
smells
that the kids
extra
will
fruity
pass
today.
it on to each other.
yeah,
Like the
that's
way
it.
we
They
used to
don't
pass
see it.
notes, they're passing
Yeah, they're
vapes to
passing
each
dates
other.
between each other, so.
I also know
Yeah.
like some of the students I've met with for like some of our like, if they've come to me as like a youth substance referral, or like substance use referral, they don't know how much they're vaping because it's like they're with a group of friends and they have one vape amongst them and they're all
Yeah.
sharing
Yep.
it. Or, you know, oh, I don't know
So
how
they don't
much
even
mushrooms I
realize.
had.
Right,
So
you
they
have
don't
no
even know,
idea.
it could be more, it could be less, but you know,
Or
when.
the strength,
I was gonna say, they're
it's
different
just all
strengths.
different,
They're
yeah,
different strengths, so it's like, you don't even know really.
yeah,
Right.
yeah.
but you can literally watch their downfall. Like,
What about,
you know, they get into it because to fit in.
Mm-hmm.
And then, cause you know, these guys are cool, I like them, this is what they're doing in the bathroom, let me give it a try, and then before you know it. You know, you're getting caught because you weren't cut out to, you know,
Yeah.
to do this. And kind of get away with it, you're just
what about Zins?
thrown to that.
What?
Is that the
Zins.
packs,
Yeah,
Mhm.
are you seeing
So-
Zins in school?
nicotine?
No.
I'm
because
good, they're
not-
also-
They don't,
They're so hard to, I mean,
You have to spit, right?
that's it.
no,
These are like,
Oh.
these are just
They're-
pouches.
they're just pouches and they're not tobacco, like they're not
They
like
are
how,
tobacco.
well,
No,
they're
they're
nicotine.
nicotine, yeah.
But there's no, it's not like tobacco where like,
Mhm.
you know, kids in college, like, a lot of my friends were hockey players, they all used to pack a lid
Yeah,
and
Yeah.
it would spit,
you have to spit,
and you had to spit, so kids in high school weren't able to just have a water bottle full of brown
Right.
Yeah.
liquid.
Soup.
And now it's like, it's nothing, you don't, you can just swallow it, so
wow.
they're able
Didn't
to
know
just
that
walk
was
around and like, how would you ever know that it's a small little
But
pouch?
like you're 15, what edge do you need to take off? Like, why do you need, you know what I mean, I get it, like,
Was pretty
we
hard
all have
being
different, it's all
15,
relative,
so.
right? We have
Yeah.
stresses as adults, they have stresses as
It's always here.
as kids, and it's hard to tell them like, hey, there are better ways.
Well,
because
To
in
do
their
with yourself.
worlds, everything's.
And I
falling
wish
apart.
we had, you know, I'll look and see, cause I know other like, councils have done it, and I don't know if Amplify did it. But they were really looking at like, if we were to take the stats of like, you know, 7 out of 10 students have never, tried alcohol. Like kind of doing some like social media and like PSA type things, focusing on the positive, like 87, I don't know if these are the real numbers, but like 87% of high school students report that they don't vape. Or, you know, versus saying 13% of
Flipping the-
youth, it's
the
like
messaging.
you're flipping it to the positive. Which I think can sometimes be really powerful for exactly that of like, everybody's doing it. I think the first thing that comes to mind is like, well, people aren't gonna say they're doing it. And so that's what the numbers look like, but for the most part, I think that's pretty consistent that it really is less folks are using than people think are, because they might be surrounded by people who are, so it seems like
Yeah, I think.
more people
Well, it's
are.
And that's
also
what-
like not nearly as bad in Newington. Like I also live in Meriden half the time, and Meriden schools, it is so freaking bad. It is horrible in Meriden schools. It is not nearly as bad in Newington schools
Mhm.
because not as many people feel the need to do it. Newington's not as bad as Meriden, so it's not.
Like to like your point of saying kids not telling the truth, that's why I think last year we brought up the whole at the safe grad, cause like they're graduating, they don't care. They're like, yeah, we can be honest now, if we can
Yeah,
get a
that's
prize. Yeah,
follow up
because
on
I
this
think like
year.
that would be a good way of getting
We
more
dropped that
realistic
ball.
data than right now, if we were to, ask all the 18-year-olds that are seniors, they're all gonna like, cause they're gonna be like, this isn't anonymous. But
Right.
when they're like done with the school, they're like, hell yeah, I vape every day, like they're gonna be like, I'm graduating, I'm not, what are you gonna do about me?
Run a survey that night.
That's what we were saying, that's safeguard, we think, and like,
Yeah, what do
have
you
a
think?
prize, and then like, we
do
can,
that.
we can do like you enter a raffle to get like a big prize, like, something
They get
for
so
the
many,
dorm room or.
they get so many prizes,
Yeah.
I'm sure
Yeah.
that Project Grad would be willing to give a
give
prize
like a-
for
well,
the
and
bar.
you're the adult
They
council.
will.
Yeah, like-
There's a
like-
king size candy bar,
Yeah.
here's your popcorn.
Just like, yeah, exactly, like a survey, and just be like, we want you to be honest, like, what are we gonna do now? We can't give you detention. We're not gonna get you arrested, like, we just wanna know, like, in the past 4 years.
Giving them
Yeah.
the survey.
I've never,
I know.
no offense,
I know, it's-
I'll do it. I'll be there.
It's like-
I volunteer as tribute.
yeah, I would never give you the
No,
answer.
I know, nobody would, but like,
Nobody would. I hope some people would.
yeah, I know,
That.
like, I know a handful, I know a lot of people that would be like, alright. There's nothing that you could do, cause they know the juvenile laws and stuff, I can't
Mhm.
trick you, or you need a parent, I can't like. None of that stuff, this
kids-
admission is usable.
Yeah, you probably
kids-
legally
So a lot
can't
of
talk to
people-
them.
Right, like, they can
can
give
ask
me
them
that
anytime.
information, but
It doesn't
I can't like
necessarily,
investigate.
but it doesn't
You know what I mean?
necessarily have to like go to you, it could just be a piece of paper, you know what I mean, and they could fill it out, they don't even have to put their name on it.
Yeah.
And
Right.
it could go
I
into
think
the
that'd be
box,
better
and then
if they
we
didn't put their name on
pull
it.
their name out of a raffle, you know?
Yeah, we just want you to be honest. We don't even wanna know your name.
I could talk to
Yeah,
the
have
project
you ever
whoever's
done this?
involved in
Yes or
Project
no?
Grad and see if some way we
That's it.
could.
Well, we donate to Project Grad
Correct, you do.
from Youth Adult Council every
Okay,
year, so
correct.
she'll be contacting us.
Perfect. When
for
she
that,
contacts
so,
you, tell her we want
exactly.
it.
Mhm.
Exactly, so we can incorporate that in, and we can
We'll do
even up the
something. We'll
donation.
do free tattoos, free
Yeah.
temporary tattoos.
Oh
I
my
have
God, I
plenty
have
of
so
them.
many.
I know, we have
I have
plenty.
so many,
We'll
we'll
do
do
a tattoo
tattoos and
station
surveys.
that night. Tell
I'm
them.
in.
Tinsel hair.
Yeah,
They
I
get
got
so
I'll
many
get new
gifts.
tints in my room. It'll be perfect.
yeah, we're in.
I'm down.
I guarantee they could donate a gift, though, a giant gift,
Yeah.
if people wanna be honest.
Do you
I-
have one of
they-
those wheel
trust me, the way.
No, but I wanna get one, so I'll get one.
Cause if we had one of those, I feel like we could be like, okay, fill out your survey, spin your wheel. You're still entered into the raffle, but you can get a fidget or
Mhm.
some little takeaway.
It's all
so
about
everybody
giving
gets
things,
something.
Yeah.
they always.
Water
get
bottle.
that.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I bet
With a real
businesses will
bottom,
donate some
not
stuff,
a-
too.
Oh, no, I meant like this.
Here's the
What
bottle
is
of
a
water,
bottle?
stay
That's what I
hydrated.
meant, a bottle
year
of
are you,
water.
Shelley?
I'm a junior.
Junior.
Shelley, what are some favorite fidgets of the high schoolers?
Her favorite.
Her favorite like little
Yeah,
goodies?
things.
treats?
Oh,
The shorts and
recently for fidgets, it's like these little stress gel things. Like it's like a little ball. It's like full of gel, and it's like
Yeah.
I know
And it
that's
pops out.
just
Neat-
because
neato.
yes.
we're that
Called
one
neato.
today. And I have one
They're
now.
like cubes and different like geometric shapes and like
Yeah.
full of gel, and you like
Okay, so
basically stress.
Neato, it's
Neato.
Those.
NDOH for the
Yeah.
minutes.
I don't know what
Neato.
they're called, but my Spanish teacher has a bucket of
And
them.
you
We
have
love
down there
them.
the Tim.
bet two of them
Hortons
stole
Jets
them.
and bagels.
See, everyone loves them.
And you're police officer.
Yeah, and then they walk
Maybe
out, but
stickers,
it's
like
just, I
vinyl,
watch
like
them, I'm
water
like,
bottle
hey, buddy,
stickers.
bring it back. And they're like, my,
I do.
can I just borrow it for one?
Be like, I'm
period?"
gonna arrest you. Can you say that?
That was a larceny sixth.
Larceny.
If I start getting YDT referrals for larceny 6, I'm gonna be like, can you just give Officer Bucci his
Right,
just
just give
back?
the thing back, that's all. I'll find it in Franklin.
What about stickers? Like, do you feel like stickers, like the vinyl stickers for like water bottles are?
Well, we have,
For some people, but not.
It's NEEDOH.
We can make
Maybe-
like class of 2020 26.
You had to think.
Yeah.
It was long
Well,
and hard
maybe
for
we can
them.
have like these pencil stickers, not that they
That's
want it,
next
but you can also
year.
promote it.
Cause I already
The
think
small
it's
ones, the choking
26.
hazard. Gotta be the ones.
So it sounds like yes to this kind of
Do you
presentation
know
and
how many
find.
folks usually come to Project Red?
A lot. It's usually a highly
A couple hundred
attended,
kids.
It's
yeah.
like 98% of the class.
That's
probably.
awesome.
Yeah.
I went for a couple hours and then left.
We can even, you know, we can
Me
even
too.
pitch that
Yeah, so
during
it's like 5 a.m.
the
Yeah,
prom promise
they're pretty good.
senior class, part of the presentation that we do for them,
Mhm.
you know, before the like big stuff outside or whatever.
Yeah, are you guys still doing the whole like helicopter car crash thing?
No.
I don't know. We haven't talked about, last year was
They did,
too soon.
Yeah.
Depends
Um,
on how much money I think.
Last year was
everyone
nice.
raises.
We just did the inside part,
Yeah,
so, you know, we have those drunk goggles.
yeah.
You can
Yeah,
put on and
those
it
are
mimics
actually
like some of the,
Yeah.
so I, you know, put a couple kids, you know, willing volunteers to go up and do the
That's so
tests.
funny. Was.
Yeah.
He was like
Yeah.
behind him like,
Oh, yeah.
when they're on stage,
If I
you're
didn't
like,
know any better, you know.
yeah, he's
But
like,
that's, it's very close to, you know, that,
Yeah.
you know, failing those things, not being able to do
Mhm.
certain things, because your depth perception is off and you can't divide your attention, which is easy with that.
Mhm. Right.
So I don't know what, I think we're gonna meet, you know, soon, probably after the holidays, be like, you know, what, because we can always cancel it last minute if need be, but it's good to have that. You know.
I feel like a lot of schools have kind of moved away from it too, where they have like guest speakers coming in or like like folks who have like lived experience too, so that could always be like another.
I got an
I
email
would much
from
rather
West-
go
West
that
Hartford guy.
direction.
Yeah.
I'm done with the scare tactics.
Yeah, I
It's
think
just-
a lot of the research is showing
it's
that
still
like
me.
moving away from that is like better anyway,
But you're
so it
joking.
might
There's
be a
some
good
West
way to.
Hartford that reached out to me because he heard about ours. And he's like, we need to do that.
Really?
Yeah. For,
And
I think, Hall.
I think Weathersfield, we were talking and they were like, yeah, we've moved away from it because a lot of the research shows that the scaring is just scaring people, not actually preventing any
Changing behavior.
like
Yeah.
behavior changes, so.
Yeah, I
That's
mean,
the
they
I'd be,
told me
I'd be
about-
curious what, I mean, I know that's not for this meeting, but I'd be curious if they were open to
I
like
mean, they
a
love
guest
the whole
speaker
thing,
kind of
like,
thing.
they love, you know, when the fire
the
department
they?
comes out, all the students,
Mm.
like, when they crowd around these cars getting like ripped apart.
Mhm.
You know, it's fascinating for them to see that, and they get more, it's more entertaining for them than anything else, and then they see their friend.
Thing is engagement,
walk the
because
line.
when they have the speakers and the presentations and the this and the that, again, you're just repeating the same things over and over.
Right.
All the students have heard the same things a million times. Another
Kindergarten.
presentation, another speaker, that's not gonna change anything. They're probably gonna sleep through it anyways. Like, no one's paying attention. They're not engaged to any of it.
Yeah,
There has to be something that actually engages them and keeps them entertained and like paying attention,
Yeah.
because they're not gonna pay attention. They've heard it a bunch.
yeah, their favorite part of the presentation, because I've asked them, I'm like, you know, even the inside part. They can't wait for the pictures. Like, it's just, like, the carnage of it, it's just, they save the pictures till last, my guys. Because they know that, like, they get everybody's attention when they see a
Yeah.
car crash, you know, just the whole. But I mean, that's your social media too, like, you can't help but kind of lock into some of that stuff. So, I don't know what we're gonna do, but it is good for them to see firsthand, but we try to tell them, like, this isn't a show. Like, imagine this is your life. Imagine this is you and your friend. Like, it's hard for them to, you know, because they're all saying,
Well, it could never be
That
me,
can't happen to me,
that's, yeah,
right.
that's their, you know,
gosh, we were there.
We've said that for generations, just
I
about
know.
different
Yeah.
issues, right?
yeah.
But I think it is entertaining, and it does, you know, it does lock them in, and they are like.
I'll
interested
give
in
you, it's
what's
entertaining. I just,
Mhm.
I mean, and that's just me, one person.
going on. No.
That's just not my go-to, but
Okay, so Tim
I
and
think
will
nice
work on-
teamwork on, you know, something at the end of the year,
Project
whether
grad,
it's
yeah.
there
Oh,
or
100%.
the
No, I
project
agree.
grad.
I
Yeah.
see both sides of it, you know?
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm a supporter either way.
Even having like a kid who maybe was drunk or something, you know what I mean, and got in an accident, come talk, or that,
Yeah.
that might be more impactful than
Yeah,
just
the kid
an
who's
adult
really
mind.
like,
Yeah, and I'm not talking about like, you know, it's Kayla presenting on the
Yeah.
dangers of this
Yeah.
thing. I'm talking about, I'm a person with lived experience, not me, but like
Yeah.
a person who maybe lost somebody in an accident, or somebody who,
Killed somebody.
like you
I
said,
mean-
has killed somebody or
Yeah.
been behind the wheel and
Yeah.
done something like that.
I remember when you first started, you had a client that was referred for volunteer work. And it wasn't
Yeah.
quite that dramatic,
No.
but it was close.
Yeah.
And, you know,
The
he had
driver.
been in an accident under the influence and.
And then, the thing that I always resonate was, Mr. McGoldrick, teacher at Newington High, he told us when prom was happening, he said one of his students went out to a party and drank, but did the right thing and was walking home on the Berlin Turnpike. And I think it was like Weathersfield or Rocky Hill had another prom, and some kid hit him while he was walking.
Ugh.
Like, the kid was doing the right thing, and like, you just never know. That was his thing. You never know what's going on. And, you know, like, I talked about with Isaac today, we're talking about like with him driving and stuff, and oh yeah, but you know, it's just like talking with, and it's just like very much like about like how you don't know about like life, like what's gonna happen, things like that. So, but yeah.
I think that like that conversation too, like especially with the folks who are just graduating, like I've had some folks that I've worked with past graduation into like their first year of college or their first year of school. And there's still that feeling of like invincibility of like, nothing bad is gonna happen to me and nothing bad is gonna happen to anybody else because I'm responsible and I know what I'm doing. And, you know, to have somebody share during session that they were under the influence while they were driving through when the elementary school gets out. Like that to me is like really high risk, and what supports would that student have in place, and maybe hearing from a speaker with lived experience or having access to some of these things before might have made a difference sooner.
Well, good segue to, we have Stephen Hill coming,
Mhm.
who was a very, I'll say typical high school student, good grades, family support, on sports teams. And ended up getting into using, and he's gonna be coming and sharing his journey in March at the school.
It was a
Assembly.
Newington High person or just?
No, he's not
Somebody in
doing
gen-
High, but he, so often, some of the presenters are, they present and they present with having a troubled background or having a, you know,
Yeah,
so.
no, I hear you.
So a student hears it and thinks, well, that's not me. I'm safe, right? But this is a kid that could be any
Anyone
other
you-
kid.
Yeah.
in high school. And he shares his journey. So that's gonna be coming in March.
Yeah, it was really engaging too. Like, I had a chance to see him speak, and I think, similar to what you were saying, Shelley, I feel like, this thought of like, I've seen one speaker, I've seen them all kind of thing. And I thought he really did a good job of, like Carol said, like, it wasn't like these were all of the barriers and challenges in all of my life that I came up against and all of this adversity. It was like, this was the loving and supportive family I had for all of these years. This is, you know, how engaged I was in after school activities and sports, and I still experience this thing. And so I think it was impactful seeing the students, because he did a presentation at the Cromwell Middle School that I got to sit in on. And he, you know, students were asking questions and, well, what do you mean? And I think they were different and more thoughtful questions than maybe we typically see at a presentation, so. Okay. Oh, we're just gonna live here. Number 4, there it is. We're on Sportsdale.
We already did that, didn't we?
Never met.
I think so.
Yes, we did.
You- We met in September.
Yeah.
Did you have all the stuff in by then?
Yeah.
Okay, good. Then We don't need to.
Moving on to number 6.
But I will say.
But also,
We need to
isn't
start
it coming
talking-
up in
we need to
January?
start talking
Yeah,
about the
so
next
it's both-
one.
both
Okay,
sides of that.
So that'll probably be the end of February, because I think that's when we did it last year.
Mhm.
So
I was gonna
nothing
say.
to really report on at the moment, but we'll text about it to try to figure out.
February. Oh, we did it the 1st
Oh,
of
yeah.
March.
Okay.
We did it
February,
the
early
first
March.
weekend of March, but if we do it the last weekend of February, we'll be
in March.
looking at, we could do the 1st of February, or we could do the 28th.
For the community. Like, I'll send you both.
February 28th, or we could do.
Yeah. We'll talk about it,
Mhm.
but yeah, it'll either be the end of February or early March.
So just so you guys have it for
So it's
dates,
before.
so February 28th and March 1st is the last weekend, and, or it would be March 7th and March 8th.
When do spring sports start? Doesn't matter one way or the other that way.
Yeah, because we gotta do it before baseball starts, and I believe that's why we did it so early in March.
It's usually the second week of March, I think.
Is
So we
it?
could always even do like February 21st, 22nd.
Yeah, we'll have to look at
That would
it.
be the one
I'll,
before.
I'll email the Newington Little League guy and see when they're gonna
Awesome.
start,
Yeah.
and we'll go from there.
Right, Deanna's gonna email Little.
So I think they're first baseball.
Mhm.
Yeah,
It'll be for
and
everybody.
lacrosse. I know lacrosse, they usually do like,
Oh, yeah, they're probably gonna start.
they do an indoor like, clinic usually for kids, and the high schoolers will come down to help out.
Mhm.
Well, you can get the dates on that, right?
Yeah.
So if we have that by second Monday of January, we should be good to go with finalizing date for either.
Yes, yes.
And are we looking to do it at Carmen's? Are we looking to do it at the firehouse again? Do you have any feedback
I don't
either
mind
way?
doing it. Cause you can always do it in my basement if it's too cold.
You mean
Um,
hold it in your basements? Are you able to hold it in the
At
basement now?
Carmen's.
Yeah, I mean, technically.
No, I
not
mean to have,
now,
but by then you
but
will
by
be.
then.
Because
that
then
I better
maybe-
be.
But maybe then, instead of having it just one day, it could be like a week. I don't know if you're willing to
Yeah, I don't care.
go, I mean, like, if there's a longer period of time where they can come and purchase, it maybe would be more, I mean, not that it wasn't successful, because this one was, but that might be easier, I don't know.
Yeah.
What, I don't know what you guys think.
So is there?
I thought it was easy because everyone dropped it off. We just sprawled it out.
Right.
Yeah,
Like we
it's
didn't
right
have
on
to
the main
keep
drag.
moving it all around.
Yeah.
That way people could come later, because I did keep it for a while,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I like
so
that,
I don't mind.
if you're willing.
Yeah.
That's fantastic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool. I didn't know if I'm moving on in my head, but we haven't moved on.
Reports, we're moving on.
Oh, so before that, then, were we looking at any restaurant thing? Is Priscilla out there?
Hi, I'm here. Sorry, I am driving, so I'm not able to pull up my things, but I have reached out to some restaurants and have set up some stuff for January and February. It's really hard to find places that they don't ask for like a code or whatever, and I don't know if we ever got the amount of how much we made from Muyas, because that one required the code. Or
The tax code?
No, a code to get the.
no, the code to like get
Oh,
the
I
credit.
got-
Yeah, like
What was
Panera's
the
one of
place
them.
that
If you don't,
just
yeah.
southeast?
Puerto Vallarta.
So-
Or Moe's.
Oh,
Most
right.
they don't ask for anything. Yeah, you can just go and
Yeah.
they use. That was the only one that you
All
can
day.
use all day. Yeah. Puerto Vallarta, when I spoke with the owner, he said as of the 2026, he is no longer hosting anything unless it's like something critical that he feels that he wants to support. Other than that, he's not doing anything in 2026. I did reach out to Flying Monkey, but I don't know if that's like too much. I haven't heard back from the manager yet. So I'll follow up with them.
Did we reach out to Mo's again, or is that pushing
Yeah, I
it?
did. Yep. I did. I think it's set up either for January or February. So I have two restaurants set up for those months.
Oh, awesome.
And I'll email you guys, once I get home.
I wonder if like, is your sister in like choir or anything?
I know she quit band. She might still be in chorus, I don't remember.
Because I just remember like in middle school, the big thing to go to like Morningson's for ice cream, so I don't know. I'm just thinking like maybe if we were to try to get them to donate, since it is like a Newington place.
Youth oriented.
Yeah, and just like, I know like on the nights of like, when there's a band concert or chorus concert, I know it's in the spring, like later in the spring, but that was like the hot spot for like
A
everyone. to
million
go.
years ago, you mean?
Million years ago. Well, no, but even when even like 2016, when I was working as a para, that was like where everyone went. I would go to the concert like, Mr. Mannion, are you coming to Morrison's? I'm like, that's still a thing, you know? So I don't know if that's still a thing, but come the springtime, I mean, it's a little later in the year, but that might be a avenue to reach out to.
Is that something you wanna check out on?
Sure. Me and Todd go way back. Elementary school basketball.
There you go.
So I guess on reports, I checked with everybody that's here for renewal. And we have some
Jamie says
vacancies.
yes. Yeah.
So we need a couple of youth, two more youths to fill some folks that have left. So if you or Jamie have any thoughts, I mean, maybe from your leadership core.
I'm gonna ask
Or-
at Monday's group. I'll see if there's anybody
Okay. So,
on Monday. Lauren, don't let me forget.
Okay, I gotta write down then.
Everyone should have a Lauren. She's wonderful. She helps me so much. She does.
okay.
That's my
And then
report.
the other just official business thing is we're continuing, everybody's good for second Mondays of the month. I just have to submit the calendar
Mhm.
for official. Everybody's good with that?
Mhm.
I can share on human services, and we're gearing up for a holiday. We have 400 households, 1,000 individuals that we're helping. We increased from 150 monthly food bank households to 200 after the whole SNAP crisis at the end of October. And so obviously their SNAP benefits were reinstated by halfway through the month, but you know, we gained those people as a result, which is good that they now know of the resource, but it's an increased
How many week?
150 to 200.
That says a lot for you guys and how you got the word out though, you know? I mean.
I think
You and your
everybody, it
buddies
was on
do-
Facebook,
My
everybody
flock
was.
Lawsuit, yes.
Yes, the human services sloth was out in full force
Mhm.
at
For
Halloween.
Halloween.
And people were so
Great.
appreciative too, you know,
Yeah.
when I was giving it to them, they were
Yeah.
like, oh, thank you, and.
Yeah, we had it like,
Mhm.
we had it in the table with the cups that went out to folks, but then I also took a bunch with me and I was pounding the pavement and talked to some of the business owners over on Market Square. And so folks were like, oh yeah, we have people who come. I said, you know, I know you may not be able to identify, but if you don't mind sharing the resource,
Yeah.
that would be wonderful. So we had done the QR codes for folks to scan to see the Amazon wish list, what we were in need of, and then also if they were in need of assistance, who to contact and how to get in touch with us. So it was,
Yeah,
That was
it
good,
was,
and
it was just, I
I
think,
think I printed a couple
reinforcement
hundred of them and they all went.
of Newington as a community, like, you know, you were there on, right before Halloween, and we set up that Amazon wish list on a Friday, and by Monday, we had 24 things coming in. I mean,
That's
it's just
awesome.
Newington responds, and
Yeah.
that's really,
Oh, for sure.
really nice to see.
And you know, one of the things that has been kind of cool is like, as we're at the high school, like staff will check in with me like, hey, you know, I've been sharing out the wish list. Are you guys, you know, getting in items? And I'm like, yeah, we are. So thank you. Like,
Yeah.
it's wonderful.
And then the other good piece of news, which is a saving grace for Brett, is we have our part-time youth worker on board, Michael Thompson. He
Michael
hit the ground
Thompson.
running. He he fits our goofy personality requirement, and, I think if we didn't get somebody in board, poor Brett would have been
My
like,
sweatshirt says live life goofy,
yeah,
so
there
yes.
you go.
Turkey Thompson.
Turkey Thompson,
Who's dancing as a turkey for the holidays.
singing as a turkey for the
Singing and
holidays,
dancing.
rapping.
Yep.
He also took a lot of initiative when we were doing our tabling at the high school, so we were sharing about like what events and groups we had coming up for our youth services, and so he was walking right up to tables to talk to students, which isn't always my forte, but I was like the closer, so he'd kind of like wave me over and I'd come in and like
Oh, that's good.
fill in,
Team,
so it was
double
good,
team.
it was good teamwork. Brett held it down at the table and
Everyone just comes to me.
That's
he
I want to
He
look
doesn't
good.
have
he had the hand-
Everyone just comes. Like, oh, that guy, I seen you around here.
So it was,
Call Bougie over and they all come too, you know?
it was a good
Oh, yeah.
team effort.
And then
It
your
was good.
groups, you should probably share about.
Yeah, so we started a few different groups. So the first is based off of the SMART recovery model, which stands for self-management and recovery training, but it is a weekly group that meets during lunch waves at the high school. It's geared for all students. Lauren and I co-facilitate that together. But we talk about things like building your interpersonal skills, helping with distress tolerance, and emotional regulation with topics each group. So today we talked about cost benefit analysis or a pros and cons list. When making, small or big decisions, it can help you find the motivation and help you feel kind of equipped to support that decision. Next week, we're going to talk about impulses and urges. So, when that thing you just can't say no to and you have a hard time, whether it's with your phone or, your friend offers you a vape, or how do we kind of manage that and what strategies can we put into place? So we've got that group going. Brett's running a group with the 7th grade boys at John
Starting
Wallace.
this week.
That starts this week. I'm running a girls group with the 7th graders at John Wallace. It's a girls empowerment group. I kind of builds on the girls group I run over the summer. And then we have a meeting. I have a meeting on Friday with Gina from Alateen and talks about how we might be able to support our middle school students because they have an Alateen group now at the high school. But I've had a few parents who talked to me after my girls group looking for some resources for their middle school students. So
And have you lunch, right, yeah.
we haven't, but I am in the process of starting another group after school on Thursdays. That's gonna be we're calling it like a Thursday collective. So a variety of different topics from junk journaling and bracelet making to silent book club and collaging, which came out of my Monday group. Students were looking for something a little bit different than what they have. So a couple of emails have gone to the principal. I will be circling back with her to set up a presentation, hopefully. And then we are in the works of doing 2 different grief groups geared towards students. So one for middle schoolers, like late elementary, middle school, and then for our high schoolers. So that'll probably most likely be held here.
And
That's great.
key in that was it was youth idea driven, which I think Brett took hold of with the ski club, which will be starting January, mid-January.
January 13th.
So lots of good stuff going on.
Yeah. Anything I'm missing? I hope not. That sounds good.
I was just wondering if you guys were gonna be at the K-pop Demon Hunters event at all? They sold over 300 tickets.
What is the K-pop Demon Hunters event?
I
I have no idea what this is.
Okay.
so
Thing that
I
everyone's
know
been
what
emailed
K-pop
about
Demon
like
Hunters-
55 times.
thank you. I wanna
I
get my
know what
view on that,
K-pop Demon
so-
Hunters are, but I
Okay, so
don't know
on
what this event
Friday-
is.
There's like a movie night and everyone got sent like 15 emails and I'm like,
So
I'm not
how are
ready
they
to
getting
this.
the email? Okay.
Who
so-
got the emails from where?
Okay, so I am also, I haven't made it to a meeting, but I'm on the board for the career academies at the high school.
Okay.
They are doing a fundraiser
Mhm.
and they are doing K-pop Demon Hunter sing-along night. It is this Friday. It is $15 a kid and they sold over 300 tickets.
So how do I get on that distribution list?
I think I got mine through like Sharon Square.
Yeah,
Cause
me
I'm like,
too.
the
I know, cause I'm on the board, they sent me
Yeah.
the flyer, I printed it out, and up
Mm-hmm.
at Karma's for like
I'm sold.
2.5 months, they've been promoting this thing.
What an example, right, of communication even with connected people.
They
So
promoted
we're-
it through the whole entire school system, like
Yeah.
every kid has gotten
All the
this
time.
email,
I'm
this
getting the emails,
flyer,
like,
I've
they're
been
all
seeing a
going.
flyer up in high school and I've been there every week, multiple times
It's
a
not
week.
flyers, emails. They send emails out,
Mhm.
and
Not
I've
emails.
gotten so many emails. I've gotten. They also they had a movie night before too. They did a movie night, and now they're doing a sing along. They did both, but I'm not going to either.
Well, that's an interesting, so how they got to everybody, right?
Right, but
That's
like,
exactly,
but
yeah.
this
So-
kind of highlights though too, is like, okay, I don't have a kid in the school system, but we're adjacent to the school, so how do we, cause this would be a great way for us to
Maybe
ask
you
to do a
can,
table or, you know.
Are you on, like, maybe you could speak to whoever the powers of be are and get on the school email list?
Would love
Like,
to
why-
know who
why
that
don't
Mr.
you-
Davies is.
I mean, if I
Mhm.
wasn't on
No, you're
this
on the
board,
committee,
if I
right.
wasn't on this
I
thing,
mean,
I,
right.
But that's what I'm
I
saying,
don't know
like,
why I
that-
would know about it, other
You
than
maybe
if I
as the-
saw it
I
on
mean,
social
maybe-
media.
I'm just curious, cause I feel like
That's
that would be,
experiential.
if we're looking at
Can
it
you
from a
guys-
prevention,
We're all talking at once.
as like a prevention group, that would be a great thing to know about, even if it was just to promote it on our Wellness Info Newington page, to be able to share like, hey, this is a great alternative to a Friday night in your, you know,
Collaborative.
basement with your parents' liquor cabinet. Not that we're gonna say it like that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I would definitely see if.
Yeah, cause
you
it's
guys
all
could get
ages,
on
right?
it.
Like the
Mhm.
high school kids love K-pop Demon Hunter,
Yeah.
like I love K-pop Demon Hunters.
And
like,
I would ask for, all of the emails, like for middle school, elementary schools,
Mhm.
and you know what I mean, just so that you're
Mhm.
aware of all the different things going on.
Mhm.
Because even the elementary schools do different things
Mhm.
that might give you an idea for some,
Mhm.
or you know, or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think that the emails go to show how they got the kids. So that's also a bridge we want to make with the schools to be able to, which they shouldn't have a problem with, because it's, you know,
Supporting
it's
their-
supporting their,
yeah.
the kids.
Yeah.
So emails sounds like
Mhm.
a great way
Emails
to.
or the newsletters, cause she posts a newsletter every single Friday. That
Yeah,
has
she
all
does.
the
That goes out to the
information.
parents.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can
So
do that.
Who's she?
Tara
Ting
Tingno.
Tingno.
Yes.
Mhm.
She posts a newsletter every single Friday,
Do
and
that one.
all the
Reach out
information
to-
for literally everything, events,
Mhm.
sports,
Yeah.
the days, like
Yep.
literally everything is in the newsletter.
So maybe
So,
you can hop on that email chain as
Yeah, I was
well.
gonna say, I think every middle school principal, they all do it too.
But Tara's is amazing.
Oh,
Like
yeah.
you just,
Yeah.
you'll know what's going on.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
cool.
Like.
But
thoroughly.
maybe this
Mhm.
is, you know, also just looking at how
That would be
successful
helpful
this
just
was,
to-
if we
just
ever
that.
did wanna do something like a drive-in,
Mhm.
that was something that we had talked about.
Yeah.
I mean, this thing is very popular, it's not going
Like in the
anywhere.
spring?
Mhm.
If we wanna do something it's better in the summer, cause
Summer.
you wanna do it at night and you want
Yeah,
it to
yeah,
be
yeah.
warm
That-
enough at night. But yeah, we can put a pin in that if we needed some monies. Could be a easy,
Mhm.
Mhm.
easy, fun community.
Yeah, I'd love to help with that.
Even if it's not a drive-in, even if we do it in one of the gyms or something.
I was gonna say the park would be like a really cool.
Anything, really.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Because they already have concerts till 9, maybe we can do a piggyback of concert till 9, followed by movie in the
Yeah,
park,
right.
yeah. So,
That's a really good thought.
yeah,
Anything else?
Any other business?
you have a report, John? Anything else to share? You did a lot of sharing, that was awesome.
Yeah, that was key with the
Very
emails,
good.
though, seriously,
Yeah,
to be able to.
Any
because
public
that's-
comments?
no comments. Even though I think attaching to the like K-pop Demon Hunters, like attaching to what's popular, is a good idea.
Mhm.
I don't know what else would be right now other than that, but for the future.
Mhm.
It just hits all ages. like,
Yeah,
ones
K-pop
that
Demon
don't
Hunters is
know who you're gonna
definitely
get. Yeah.
so popular. It's popular right now.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
All right.
If you haven't seen it, I highly recommend. It's an hour and a half of great music.
That's
Yeah.
wonderful.
Yeah.
I'll be going home.
Yeah.
to Google.
Motion to adjourn.
I move. So
Second.
moved.
All in favor? Thank you.
Good
All right,
meeting,
hold on,
guys.
Let me, stop my share. Let
Thank you, guys.
me Stop